Hello, I am Ladanian Simpson,
I'm Jacob Wagner.
and we're going to be talking about environmental ethics, starting with The Wendigo Footprint by Wilkener.
So in the reading, they described the Wendigo as a name for something within us which cares more for its own survival than anything else.
Yeah, basically a monster created from humans' greed and the way humans take, and never give back.
Yeah, I feel like that it's kind of talking about how that's in every single person, but in order to get a working society or a meaningful society, people have to think of the community over themselves, or they'll become the Wendigo. A legendary monster from the Anishinaabe people. And it's a villain of a cold tale in the woods to get children to conform in their own societies. They can kind of reflect on it as a positive feedback loop, because one change promotes another change, and change, as they put it, can go either growth or destruction. So in order to have a successful community, it would stem off of a negative feedback loop to promote stability.
Yeah, like the Wendigo was basically created, as he said, a children's story. It basically is trying to prevent the newer generations from becoming this basically monster, quote unquote monster, that just takes from the world and never tries to fix it. Like we want the newer generation to be more conscious of our environment, like how people are basically destroying the Amazon rainforest right now, cutting down millions and millions of the trees. It doesn't matter how big it is, it's the impact on the earth of when those trees are gone.
Yeah, stemming off of that, in the reading it said that Wendigo mythology actually arose in the time of fur trade, like causing overexploitation, getting too much that you don't need, and trying to make profits off of the natural world. And I feel like that can stem into every single aspect of life right now, with social media, overconsumption, just trends that promote these kind of unhealthy societies. It's not sustainable. It's not
something that we can continue doing if we want to live like happily and peacefully for the next hundreds of years. Because the way things are going, in the other readings include the Sand County Almanac, the Aldo Leopold. Some of the main points that he was talking about at first, well, he or she, I actually don't know because Leopold's very, Basically, was talking about, at first, it was more human-centered on how nature does matter. Nature's only there to benefit humans and nothing more. That's how people see life right now. That's the thing he wants people to see so far, as how he started off his reading.
Yeah, one of the quotes from the text we were talking about, we abuse land because we regard it as a commodity belonging to us. I feel like back like 60 years ago, less than that, the American dream was having your own land, having your own family and property, and being sustainable. Nowadays, we have to rely so heavy on outside people, like gas companies.
Yeah.
There was actually a quote in the text that was like how it was referring to how people like can be sustainable, but a man can't be sustainable if he's wondering where the heat comes from.
Yeah, I don't remember which book it was, but I know what you're talking about. It was how at first humans wanted land and farms, but now we have to worry about the next man, or how you can't wake up and like get your eggs from a chicken or weed. You have to go to a grocery store hoping that the food is actually there to even eat breakfast. So it's more so as like we take and take and take, but we're also relying on other humans to provide for us as they take from the environment. So it all really just circles back into how we aren't living how we're supposed to right now.
I feel like the capitalist society has kind of encouraged over exploitation of natural resources. Circular, what I mean by that, like sustainable, I guess.
Yeah.
It kind of encourages it again for more products. They just want the new best thing instead of caring about where it's coming from.
The other reading, Robin Waldkimmer, his braiding sweetgrass. One of his first and main points was like how nature gives to humans, so humans have responsibilities to return the favor. And some of the things that they basically argue is we should not only take from the earth, we should give back. We have to fix our ecosystems. And one quote that I really did like is all flourishing is mutual. So if we're flourishing, we must make sure that the earth is flourishing. Because if the earth is flourishing, we're flourishing, and it's just basically back and forth.
Yeah, I feel like having a balance to life is kind of everything in every aspect of life. If you don't have a balance, then it's not going to be healthy. So I feel like really emphasizing giving back to the land that provides for us just makes sense. I feel like if we keep taking care of it, keep contributing to fast fashion where there's millions of pounds of waste, textile waste, pollution, and this all impacts the environment, the climate, and the people working in those industries. Because if you think about it, if they want to make as much profit as they can, they're going to pay their workers as little as they can. So they're kind of exploiting humans too while exploiting nature.
Yeah, they're exploiting humans with their like overconsumption of products and media, and you have to get the newest this, newest that, but they not really are putting in the idea that all of this comes from the earth. Like the fabrics, we have to grow the plants, we have to use water to water the soil, the dirt, the land. If we're doing all of that on dirty soil because of the oils that leaks out from factories, polluting the air, how we have global warming right now, how summer's gonna be hotter than they normally are, how Arizona is reaching hundreds of degrees when it's only supposed to be about 70 max. Like, people still aren't clicking that we're slowly destroying the one place that we have.
Yeah, and people I feel like don't tend to think about where their items or purchases are coming from. They just see it and they want it. Like their favorite influencer has it in their videos, so they want it. And then they don't know that was being made in a factory for just unfavorable conditions for the people working there. But they see it anyway and they just want it. Something that kind of I've been thinking about is how you can't really just make an individual choice to stop something. Like a lot of people want to be that person that stops pollution or whatever, but your individual choice doesn't make a impact if the grand scheme of things is influencing everybody in the other direction.
Yeah.
So I feel like all these trends and stuff kind of create more people that will waste and waste and waste compared to you doing all this stuff just for more people to join. Like, I'm not saying there's no point in doing that, but I feel like there has to be something put in place to avoid all this mainstream media pushing fast fashion, overconsumption, just exploitation. I feel like people have to step in, like the government, somebody that has real power to change what's going on.
Yeah, because like we have all these machine and all this money and all this time, and the people that can basically replant, and fix the earth like the way it needs to be, and basically give back to what it's giving us, like some of these third world countries that basically have nothing, so they have no choice but to make sure that their earth is clean and that their soil is good and that they're growing everything that they need to eat and replanting the trees that they take down and all the grasses and the third. Their land is flourishing. They don't have pollution. They're not worried about all these different resources because they're basically self-sustaining themselves. Whereas we are worried about, oh, we're running out of this. This is bad. The soil is bad here. Well, we could just fix it and stop mass polluting shit. We might as well just use what we have to help create the earth, help make the earth better, instead of making more and more and more and more and more and taking.
Kind of tying back to the Wendigo reading, a quote was, "A human whose selfishness overpowered self-control to the point satisfaction is not possible." So I feel like that can refer to what you were saying, just like people buying all of these items, but they're not actually happy with it. They just want something new in the mail, wear it once and throw it away. Like, I feel like if people took more pride in what they had, like if you made a shirt, you spent 10 hours making it, you're not going to throw it away because it's sentimental to you. But when you see a $2 shirt on the internet, you have no problem with ordering it, wearing it once and throwing it away because it's $2, didn't cost you any time, and you don't really care where it's coming from. So if people came more, probably just sentimental is probably the best word for their belongings and the earth, then a lot of these problems I feel like would be solved in the fast fashion and over consumerism problems.
Yeah, we want people to be more mindful of what they have and realize how much time and energy went into getting it.
Like something as a kid, like getting hand-me-downs. Like you think you're just getting a hand-me-down, but that's a shirt that was probably going to be thrown away or I don't know, just end up in a landfill.
Yeah.
So getting more use out of stuff is, I mean, we were kind of taught that in elementary school: reduce, reuse, recycle, like as much as you can. But when corporations aren't held to the same standard, that kind of
flies out the window.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't matter what you do when they're dumping hundreds of thousands of pounds of waste just into the environment.
Yeah, and it's not like we don't expect people to just not want for things or just not get anything, or you know what I'm saying, don't buy stuff. Because in the Wendigo reading, it says the old teachings recognize that Wendigo nature is in each of us. So the must was created in stories so that we might learn why we should recoil from the greedy part of ourselves. Basically telling us everybody wants. That's human nature. But to want for too much to the point of turning the earth, that becomes greed. That becomes the underlying problem of why our environment is the way it is today.
That's basically becoming the Wendigo, as they were talking about.
Yeah.
And if more people are subject to be a positive influence in society, more people are going to be like them. But if there's a bunch of people doing negative things, it's okay, so-and-so is doing it. So it's easier to justify it in people's brains that they can just join along, and it kind of doesn't have any consequences too, because of how many other people are doing it.
Yeah, they see it as, oh, this person doing this bad thing, so if I do this thing that's not as bad, it's not really a problem, but the little things add up. If billions of people are littering in the same spot, that's still billions of people of trash. Still billions of pieces of trash that are going to build up and build up and build up, and it's constant. It's not like it just stops.
And when it's celebrities and people that people look up to, they're gonna want to follow them even more. They're gonna feel inclined to be doing what they're doing. They want to have what they have because of their status or because of what they do. It's just, if more influencers, because how many young people, how many people in general are online, came aware of pushing sustainability and just conservation of the environment, we'd be not in a we'd be in a better place. But it would also take time because as things change, some people don't. So we would need to have a system in place to take care or try and convert those people to better ideologies. Even though that sounds kind of crazy, but
Yeah, but it's like human nature rubs off on each other. Bad will rub off onto bad, and good will rub off onto good. It's not 100% true. I mean, well, not always 100% accurate, but there's a good chance that one person doing one good deed will lead to a chain reaction of more people doing good deeds, which will slowly help our earth. So, like, in the end, basically the environmental destruction often comes from like this disconnect from humans and nature, which I think people really need to get back into more.
yeah, I mean, you said it.
I mean, yeah, they say like humans and nature must survive together, so there's no reason we should basically be killing the nature just for us to thrive even more, but we can thrive together.
I feel like a problem that's arose is so many companies are focusing on short-term profits and not worrying about their long-term effects of what they're doing to the environment or what they're doing to communities or so on. I feel like if people or if companies thought about their long-term sustainability, then they'd get more customers. Like when you see big corporations doing like paper straws, I know they're not the best to use, but corporations doing paper straws, like bamboo silverware, I think I've seen that. That just kind of makes the customer know they're going the extra step to give back to their environment instead of just using and using and using. They kind of actually acknowledge the impact that they have and they're trying to mitigate it as much as possible.
Yeah. So like, in the end, is to basically sum up everything that we've been saying is humans have to give back to nature if we really want to live for our future generations. The earth is dying and we have to do something about it.
Yeah, and I feel like people don't realize, but the earth will be okay without humans. Like, it created life from nothing, basically.
Yeah.
Like, one atom or whatever started it, or whatever,
But yeah.
and then evolution and stuff. People aren't needed, but people are so egocentric that we think we're the best, we're needed, the earth needs us. But the earth will just have the like negative feedback loop, I guess.
Yeah.
So it'll just get back to where it used to be without us. So I feel like we need to learn how to coexist with it before it's way too late.
Yeah. We're like the only negative living organisms that aren't actively coexisting with the rest of the world.
Yeah, I mean, we don't act as a natural thing in the food chain. Like,
Yeah.
yes, some people get buried and they give back eventually in that way of the food chain, but we're an external force acting upon animals, plants, just the whole environment.
Yeah. So that is the conclusion of our discussion. Let's make the world a better place.
Thank you.
There we go.
The excessive nature of overconsumption in American culture, it had a statistic that 20% of the world's population uses 80% of the world's natural resources. So it's not the people in third world countries that are surviving off the land ruining the world. It's the major corporations that have billions of dollars to spend in order to make more money. So people not being